Yeah, he's a talented dude. I got to tell you, a really cute, talented dude. It's too bad about what happened.
I know.
It is what it is.
Look, we don't, his perversions are his perversions, man.
He really needs to get some help, though. I'm just being honest. It's just one of those things where I feel like a guy like that, he was going to get caught at some point for doing what he was doing.
Yeah. And it's downhill. And the crazy part in this business, when it's downhill, brother, it is straight down.
Straight down. It's directly straight down. I mean, we know a lot of people that have already plummeted that far, Bert's not putting his shirt off anymore. He's keeping his shirt on.
Well, they had some lady filed a charge against him.
She did?
Yeah.
What was it? What
just
the file
like
was?
indecency or something?
Complete indecency. Too much indecency.
Dude, I remember when I was young, the first fella I even ever masturbated to was a buddy who had big tits like that.
You? How big were they?
This boy, I don't want to say his name, because he's a nice boy.
Oh, he's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still alive as far as I know. And what
was your first crush? Do you vividly remember your first crush?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who was it?
This girl, Chrissy Hunt, man.
The name is so hot.
And she had one of her teeth, she was kind of chipped off a little bit, like she had that Lloyd Christmas in the front,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That made her more exotic somehow.
Oh.
Chrissy Hunt.
And I remember she had good posture. That's what I loved, bro. I'm like, damn, who was that straight up bitch over there? She was just posture.
Yeah.
Just so damn vertical, dude. I just felt like she
stood
for something.
She stood.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah, for life.
She just had confidence in her bones,
I said that to Steve. I was talking to someone on the way here. I said, I saw Attell was in New York when I was in New York, and he's got all these bags. He was hunched over. I was like, all my comedic heroes have scoliosis. Like all of them are like they're all like kind of like tiny and bent over, and I don't know what that is. I need to get better. It could be the stress,
the burden.
Yeah, the burden of being so hilarious, being so smart and funny like Attell is.
Probably the stress. Attell kind of shies away from people sometimes too. He doesn't like to kind of be seen. I feel like it makes him nervous.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's also because I think too many people want to come up to him and talk to him.
Yeah.
Because he's so funny and so known. But I was watching him walk, and I was just like, it looked painful. It looked like he was kind of like.
Well, he doesn't do yoga. I don't think he's like a yoga. He's not. That's not one of his things.
No, not anymore.
What's going on, man? You got the new tour, I know.
I'm doing a new tour in 2020, the Red Rocket tour.
That's awesome, man.
Dude,
Congrats, bro.
Thank you, dude. I've never done small theaters. This is the first time I've ever done small theaters in my life, and I'm nervous. We talked on the phone a year ago when you started doing, but you were doing bigger theaters than I'm gonna do. I'm doing tiny little theaters, and the nerves are right. You were righteous about. You were like excited, nervous. I remember we talked on the phone. I was on the 405. I remember coming from the airport, and you were like, "I'm excited, but I'm nervous." But it's dope. I'm so happy, but the pressure is different. It's different than a club. I don't know. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah,
the scale, the growth.
Yeah, the scale, the energy, the excitement. For me, a lot of it was just like how does the words work in the room? What does like the audio sound like?
Right, because
I started worrying about everything. Whereas clubs, I had just gotten used to it. I knew kind of how it went. I knew if it sounded strange, how to adjust it.
Right.
But in these different venues where they're all kind of different, it was that can be a little confusing.
Well, here's why: because they don't do comedy shows all the time, right? A comedy club only does comedy shows.
Yeah.
It's an on and off switch. But with these venues, some of these that I'm doing, they're rock clubs.
They're, Cirque du Soleil or something.
Yeah, an off night for the Cirque.
What?
Yeah.
They do
but I use some of
Disney
those
on
straps.
Ice.
Do they?
Disney on Ice.
Really?
Dude, I remember I went to Disney on Ice, boy.
I've never been.
We were fired up when we were kids, man. We went. I remember some guy was smoking a joint at it.
At Disney on Ice? Well, really?
Yeah, because mostly it was kids there, and I just remember looking at this guy being like, dang, dude.
Yeah, but he's got to get his. You can't hate on that guy. Medication.
Yeah, well, at the time, it's funny that at the time, nobody saw it as medication. At the time, it used to be just getting high, and now it's considered medication. Isn't that kind of fascinating?
Yeah, well, it's only because people have come around to the idea that it's not as bad as people want it to be.
What do you think we'll go even higher with drugs? Do you think we're going to get to like a level, like somewhere they just legalized some cocaine, I believe?
Yeah, Dominican Republic.
Was that it? The DR?
The DR, they got cocaine legal, and they also have frog licking is legal now too in certain countries. You can lick psychedelic frogs. What? I think there's a roof for sure. I think there's a roof. What? Denver just legalized mushrooms.
Oh, they did?
Colorado. That's
Well,
right.
dude,
yeah,
for a
right,
while
yeah.
now, I'll notice you find anything, Nick? I'm not seeing anything on the screen.
Mexican court says cocaine use is legal for 2 people.
Mexico City. Wow, they're having a lot. I mean, with
Good.
all the
What was the
shootings.
case? Yeah, what happened? Why did they needed it?
2 people should be allowed to use it legally, it says. The ruling means the unnamed pair can use but not sell, according to Mexico United Against Crime.
Huh. They need that energy to get back and forth over that border, you know?
Yeah.
It's like playing, it's like Red Rover. It's
Yeah.
a brown rover down there. I said on Chris Stefano's podcast with Giannis Papas, I said, they were joking about building the wall. And I said, the wall is cruel. Like, it's a cruel thing. But I think it'd be funny if it was a maze.
Yeah.
Like, if they had to, like, really, you know what I mean? If it was an obstacle
Oh,
course.
dude, yeah.
Like, if it was American Ninja Warrior down there, I'd be so down for that.
Well, dude, and then the people that would be coming in, you'd be getting some real heroes into America.
A lot of talent.
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton of talent. Yeah. You would get some like grade A athletes crossing the border.
Well, I think there should be a return system. That's just what I think. It's like one enters, one leaves. It's
Right.
like I wish there was a level in America for people that don't want to try and contribute at all to society.
Yeah.
That we get to,
Oh, that's smart. Like, it's like a battle royale. Like, you have to prove why you get to stay and someone has to go.
Yes.
That's dope. That's a great idea.
Or let Vegas bet on people at a certain point at the border to like another point. Let them bet like just on who is going to get.
Can they make it to the next level?
Yeah.
It's like Mario. We're setting up Super Mario Brothers and seeing what level they pass. They have to beat a boss at every point. And then they get certain, you can get wings. You know what I mean? You can get a jetpack if you want.
A jetpack would be dope, dude.
You get to jump over people.
Some guy is flying by like, man, I'm lost, man.
They're going to level 3.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think a lot of times about the border, like the people that live there. What is their life? Like that's who I really.
That live at the border.
Yes,
towns?
like
Yeah.
like what is it like for them? Like it's easy for us to say
Yeah.
this or that, but it's like, what is it like if you had like are people running through people's backyards? Is it scary? Are
Gotta
people?
be. It's got to be, right? We used to go down in college. There's a place called South Padre Island, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
We used to go down there. You've probably been down. You've probably done to South Texas. And there's a border town called, damn, Nick, you probably have to find it.
Rosa
No, it's called,
Nogales? No.
damn, bro. It's South Padre Island, Texas. There's a border town to this big bridge you cross, right? It's a massive bridge.
Port Isabel?
No, man, it's a Spanish name. It's in Mexico, that border town there.
Well, Isabel, yeah.
But
It's
not
Spanish.
Isabel. That's Isabel. Go. There it is. Matamoros. That was it. Look to the left.
Matamoros.
Matamoros. Right. So we went into Matamoros,
Keep going over to the left.
and this was
Matamoros.
Matamoros. There it is. And this was bad, man. We got in the bed of a pickup truck, in the bed of an F-150, like a 1990 F-150, and this. Now I'm embarrassed, but I was like in the back, and we had all been drinking. And it was the truck was bouncing bad. And I looked where the bed connects to the cab, and it was like loose. Like it was not secure. You know what I mean? It was jiggling.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and I'm realizing I'm going over this bridge like 80 miles an hour. I was like, this is how I die.
This is how it ends.
This is how it ends.
Dude, do you
I
ever
couldn't
feel like though
believe
if you died in Mexico, you wake back up in America?
Yeah. It was like like you start again, like in you reanimate, but where do you come back to? Where's the city you come back out
I
of?
think I'm going probably Columbus or Toledo.
Toledo sounds Toledo or Kansas, somewhere in Kansas.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. Or just walk straight out of that cornfield over there in Iowa, right in Dyersville. Yeah.
Yeah, but you get like a new beginning, right? If you could start over, if you could be you reincarnated, you same Theo, in another part of the world. Say you were born in another part of the world, but you're the same cat. Where would you be?
I'd go Asia, dude.
Yeah.
So I'd be really shocking to people.
Right,
They'd be like, damn, this Asian dude is different,
It's
know?
way different. Why does he
Yeah.
sound like that?
Who's this Chinese guy, man? He's very unique.
Born and raised in Pyeongchang, and
Yeah.
you sound like that. You think you know how I look like when I went around Japan?
Oh, wow.
A guy booed me at the train station. Yeah, I swear to God.
Well, dude, redheaded people and redheaded different type of species and stuff. Y'all have had not the best PR. How did all that start? I think
don't
alcohol.
know.
Do you think it was
Alcoholism.
Irish and alcohol?
Yeah. The country. I've said this before. Ireland is a sad, wet island, and it's got a lot of the history is bad, man. You're talking about like raping and pillaging of these poor people, and then
Who did it?
well, Vikings came through and raped everybody, really. Anybody in the north up there, right? And then on top of it, you have like potatoes. Potatoes collapsed a society? That's sad that a root vegetable collapsed your whole society.
Yeah. And do they have sweet potatoes too, or just regular potatoes?
Ain't nothing sweet up there.
Oh, man, bro. Bro, you got to fucking sugar up your tots, bro. You can't even, I can't imagine running on just potatoes.
Just regular
Imagine they
potatoes.
go somewhere finally and they see that somebody else has sweet potatoes and they're just like, what have we been doing?
They don't grow up there. Nothing much grows up there.
Yeah.
But it's just like.
But they're fierce men, though.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough people, man.
They're tough as nails. You can kill them and they won't die.
No, they like they're half cats. They call them half cats. They got 4.5 lives. It's unbelievable. I think, but that's how they build anybody tough. When you come, like you're from the South, where people from your area growing up, you know, they grew up really tough, so they're naturally just tough people.
Yeah,
like
a little edgier.
They just have certain. I'm not saying everywhere, but certain parts of places where you had to just grow up around a little bit more attitude and edge. People tend to be just tougher mentally. I'm not saying they're all strong people by physical standards, but they all have to have kind of like the way to get through strife easier. When you face a lot of stuff like that, you see that in tough cities. You know, Baltimore, just like tough people, man. That's a tough town to live.
Baltimore's a tough town to live in, dude. Baltimore's the only show I ever had where they had to stop the show because people were fighting in the audience. Is Baltimore. Yeah.
Was that for a Comedy Factory? Is that what it was at? Or no, what was that?
I don't remember.
Isn't that the
what
name of
it
that club? I
was.
can't remember the name of that club. The Power and Light District. Somebody got shot while I was in Baltimore in that area. The day that I got into Baltimore, somebody got shot, and I remember talking to the manager and being like, "Man, that's nuts, right?" And he's like, "Not really. That's not too uncommon." He was like, "It happens, you know." I was like, "I hope it doesn't happen this weekend." He's like, "No, they got one out of the way. There'll be extra security all weekend." Where did I just come back from? That was I was just in Indianapolis. Is a strange city. A wild, strange city. Yeah, I'd never been to Indiana. Other than crossing the border when we were in high school to buy cigarettes and booze.
Oh, y'all had to go over there? We're from Chicago. Where you guys go over to like buy Notre Dame or something? Did you guys ever go there?
I went to Notre Dame one time. But when you cross the border in Indiana, you would get people go for cigarettes and stuff because everything's cheaper. Everything was cheaper there.
Oh.
It was just way cheaper. And then people would go, it just, there was less rules in Indiana. Like they just cared a little bit less.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that.
They were more lenient about selling illegally.
Most places, things get certainly a little bit more lenient. Out here, sometimes I can't figure out what it is about LA because there's a lot of things that I do like about it. It's like you have the opportunity, you know. Yeah. It's like I can go do comedy anytime. I get to be around like really funny people that like I look up to and admire, you know.
Right.
And then also like diversity is so different here. It's like here, it's like. Yeah, there's a lot of different ethnicities. Everybody kind of gets along. It's pretty chill. Mm-hmm. There's not really like race. I don't ever feel like racial tension here, really.
Yeah, but I think it's also because there's a lot of this city is pretty segregated in a weird way.
Oh, it's definitely segregated, no doubt.
So that's why I don't think there's a lot of tension here because it's almost like people stick to their neighborhoods here, right? Like you go in a Latinx, you go in a Mexican neighborhood, and it's almost all Mexican, and then a little bit of Korean. But then Koreatown's all Korean. I feel like when you go to other cities like New York or Chicago, it's a lot more mixed.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's segregated still.
Yeah.
But it's like you almost don't have a choice but to interact because of public transportation. We don't do that here.
Right.
If there was more public transportation, more races would interact here because people of all colors of working class levels that need to use it, you just have to interact.
Or even as people looking for stuff, if people were like outdoors, you know, like.
Everyone's in the car.
Everybody's in the car. You can't even, if you see somebody walking here, you're like, damn, you know,
you feel
hope
bad.
They're okay.
Yeah, you feel
and it's just some guy walking to the store. You know? Yeah.
Going grocery shop. Who did I see walking? I saw a comic walking today in the rain.
It's so weird when you see somebody walking that you know. You're like,
it's so strange. I speed up so they don't see me. I don't want them to see. I don't want to have that weird. Hey, it's too little time to talk, so you just have to keep going. Have you seen someone in public that you made eye contact with that you know that you just don't say hi? You guys just keep moving.
There's a lot of people I feel like that I know by face, but I don't know who they are, and I can't remember how I know them or anything.
And so you just avoid it?
No. I'll kind of engage a little. Sometimes I'll go into a deep conversation. I've always had a tough time of knowing like how well I know people or not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember one time I went to somebody's like baby's christening or something, and they're like, "What in the fuck are you doing here, dude? Like you don't even fucking know us, you know?" And I was like, "Oh shit, man. I fucking..."
But you were being nice. You're like, I just want to see the baby get birthed.
Yeah,
like
well,
I want to see the blessing, you know?
Well, yeah, dude. Look, bruh, and the baptism, dude. I freaking still remember, dude. I remember taking a couple extra sips when I was under that water, bro.
You were
what I'm saying?
guzzling.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm staying down there.
I remember the first time I stole one of those, the blood of Christ at a Catholic church.
Because did you do some altar boying?
No, I did none of that.
Really?
We weren't Catholic, really.
Dude, you should do a series about being a taller altar, like a, you know.
The tallest altar boy?
Yeah.
The tall boy?
Yeah.
The taller boy? The talter boy?
yeah, the altar boy. Dude, I could tell you totally. Because let me just say this. Anytime people look at you, they think you've done altar boying. Do you think that, Nick?
100%.
I think so.
Yeah.
I did it, so I know my kind. You look like one.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You were an altar boy?
Yeah. I was safe, though. I think they knew I would squeal.
Is that why you got that one wandering eye?
I'm just learning about this, so.
He has to refocus every couple of seconds. You know, you see it recheck a little bit.
Oh, just checking for the, yeah.
Uh-huh. He's good, but he's good because he's got his eyes on a swivel.
Eyes on the Lord looking for the devil.
He's always looking for the devil. That's why he's a smart cat. No, we weren't Catholic enough for me to be a part of the church. I also got asked to leave Sunday school multiple times.
I could see that, though.
I just didn't enjoy the content.
Yeah?
I just was like, I questioned everything. That's why I like Jews. That's part of their religion is to question more. Catholics are like, don't ask.
Yeah.
It's none of your business. Jews are like, inquire.
Yeah, let's see what's going on
Let's
here.
figure this out. Yeah, they're all detectives.
But sometimes the questions just go too far, and it's like, "Whoa, dude, everything."
relax. Yeah, slow down.
Let's chill out, dude. It's just yogurt, you know.
You don't need to get the
Just relax.
fingerprint kit out. Yeah, for Catholics, no, we weren't Catholic enough to be an altar boy. How many years did you do it, Nick?
All grade school, so K through 6.
Wow.
I'm not going to ask you the embarrassing, obvious, cheap question,
but
but was it traumatic at all? Did you hate it?
I said I think I was safe because they thought I would tell if
So sure, you
if
look like you
anything happened.
snitch.
Yeah. I wouldn't let that happen to me.
The church was so mean. My mom, because my mom, I mean, all my family went to Catholic school, and the nuns would beat their ass.
Oh yeah, nuns
I'm
are
saying
gangsters.
smack them in the face.
Wow.
They would smack my mother in the face. My mom said it was a totally normal thing, and no one would say anything. If you so much as like made a like one of those things, they would crack you in the mouth.
But now people question. There's so much more questioning of the Lord, or questioning of like any sort of like mainstream parameters. It feels like, you know, questioning of police, questioning of teachers.
Well,
There's like,
authorities always had society's always had a problem with authority.
yeah.
And we want to know why they treat people certain ways. I mean, power is bias, right? So authority is going to be bias as well. Who you are negative and positive to is inherently going to be part of your chemical makeup and your bias towards who you like and dislike, and all that stuff is deep rooted in where you come from, who you were raised around. So it's just inherent for us to question authoritative figures, because who gives anybody the right to tell someone what to do? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like when they say there's no bias in refereeing or umpiring. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You think there is?
Of 100%, because regardless of if you're a referee and you're refereeing a Kentucky game and a Arizona game, whatever the sport is, you will have inherently one closer relationship to one of those two places because of a friend, a family, something. So there's gonna be something in there.
Like a moment in your, this could have gone either way. I'm gonna give it that way. I could,
100%.
yeah, that's true.
I just don't believe there's no non-bias in judging an authority. It just can't exist. That's why jury duty is bananas. It's crazy to ask the people. I think that's it should be a computer.
Now it's crazier than ever.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you have people that are really more like, okay, I'm over here, I'm over here. Like if you walked into a jury now, you're going to look at the jurors and be like, fuck, like, fuck no, dude, I don't stand a chance here, or I do stand a chance
Or
here.
I'm going to get away with murder.
Yeah.
You're right though. I think society is doing this thing now where it's more, people are so much more defined. Like there's, for some reason, people are so angry at the opposition, whatever they dislike, that they want to go as far as they can away from them, when you should be getting a little bit closer to find out
Yeah.
why they feel that way. I don't know, man.
There's a lack of empathy sometimes. It's just like there's definitely become, and somebody said they were trying to make virtual reality so you